What's good, everybody? It's your girl, Shantae Presley, and thank you so much for tuning in to TaeTalk TV. Today, I'm trying a new segment called TaeTakes, where I'm going to be giving my own opinions. I know usually I like to hear other people's perspectives, and I like to, see what other people's thoughts are, but with TaeTakes, I just want to give my opinion. And I thought the first thing that I should talk about should be something that's very near and dear to my heart, which is Drake and his highly anticipated album, Certified Lover Boy, which, if you know me, you know I'm a huge Drake fan. I've been a fan since the beginning, since 2009, first time I ever heard Best I Ever Had. And I've been following his career since the beginning. And from the moment I heard Best I Ever Had, I knew that he was going to be something. I knew he wasn't just going to be an artist who was a one-hit wonder. I knew that this was the start of a new era. So, I didn't know what to expect from Certified Lover Boy other than, okay, he's definitely going to be singing. He's going to be, definitely talking about some fuckboy type shit, With past albums, I would have to say I have mostly appreciated the versatility. So the singing, the rapping, people call him a culture vulture, but I would say experimenting with different sounds, like even the the Jamaican accent and even doing Spanish music. So again, just a really huge fan of Drake and everything that he's done thus far. With that being said, I have so many thoughts about Certified Lover Boy, but I just wanted to give that acknowledgement that I've been a huge fan of Drake. I think he's phenomenal. I definitely think he should be in that GOAT category, which I know that this album has stirred up a lot of talk about whether he's better than Jay-Z or not. Let me just first say that that's not true. I love Drake. I think he is number one out of the new generation. I think it is number one. He's my favorite rap artist of the early 2010s to now. So he's had a 10-year career. He's been wildly successful, and I think he deserves all the recognition for that. But when we're talking about overall GOATs, greatest of all time, I feel like it's not even fair to put him in a conversation with Jay-Z. And this is why. Jay-Z came up during a time where rap was not the most poppin' genre of music. It was actually one that they weren't even really trying to acknowledge as music. And he was able to have number one albums in a time where that was unheard of. He was able to compete with the likes of Biggie and Tupac. While I'm not saying that he's better than them, or that I rank him above them, I am saying that he was able to stand on his own during that time where I feel like a Drake wouldn't even be received, wouldn't even be taken seriously during that era. So I just feel like it's unfair to compare him to Jay-Z because Jay-Z doesn't have the luxury of being a pop artist. He doesn't sing. Just imagine Jay-Z singing Mia with Bad Bunny. It would never happen. First off, because people would laugh him out the door. Not only that, I just feel like Jay-Z wouldn't want to do that, And I'm not saying that makes you a better hip-hop artist, being more, not gangster, but being seen more as not even a thug. How would I put it? I would say being seen as a stereotypical rapper, if that makes sense. The substance that Jay-Z puts in his music is definitely drug music, He's talking about the streets. That's what it is. Street rapper. He's more of a street rapper. He is a street rapper. Drake is not a street rapper. And at one point, you had to be a street rapper to even be considered a rapper. So that's why I just feel like it's not even fair to compare them. And if I am comparing just lyricism, Jay-Z still wins it to me. But anywho, back to Drake. and Certified Lover Boy. I started hearing about Certified Lover Boy a little bit after he dropped his demo. What was it? Dark Lanes, whatever. It came out in May of last year. And it was really good. You know, a lot of people didn't like it, or they didn't talk about it. It didn't get the buzz that I thought it would. You know, it's Drake, and he dropped, who was it who beat him? Who came in number one? It was like some pop artist or some country artist, I think. But anywho, it wasn't received. I don't even want to say well received. I just didn't really hear people talk about it that much. But I liked it. And what I was hoping that he would do is that he would kind of stay in that pocket, which he did for the most part. With Certified Lover Boy, again, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to think. I thought he's definitely going to use this to solidify himself as the GOAT. And not that he needs to prove anything, because we already know Drake's amazing. He's put 10 years in this game. He don't have to prove anything to anybody, but it's just like everybody's like, is his run over? Is the Drake era over? Are we officially tired of Drake? Are we moving on to somebody new like Lil Baby? Or I can't even think of somebody else who could really even compare, because, you know, towards the beginning of Drake's career, it was like the Holy Trinity. It's Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and J. Cole. And that's been the discussion since then. You know, those were the three top rappers. Yeah, you got all these other rappers, but they don't really get put in this conversation of like the greatest of all time. And so now, you know, you got Donda that just dropped, and like Drake and Kanye are beefing and all that, which I still think is politics. Kanye, it's really funny, because when Drake first came out, I was like, he sounds a lot like Kanye. And I don't know how many people agree with that. But then, you know, in the midst of all the beef with Drake and Kanye and Pusha T, I find out that Kanye actually produced a lot of the music that was on Drake's earlier work. So it kind of makes sense why they sounded alike to me, I guess. I don't know. That just kind of made sense to me more when I heard that. And then there's this narrative that Drake and Kanye are beefing because Kanye is jealous of him. You know, when you think about people who made an impact and rappers that weren't necessarily street but successful, you definitely think of Kanye. I mean, at one point, Kanye was my favorite rapper, even above Jay-Z, just because I thought he was so creative, and I thought he was just an overall like dope artist. It wasn't just about rapping, and he was rapping about more stuff that I guess I could relate to, because I'm not a street person. But anywho, you got Donda that dropped, and everybody was just like, you know, are they waiting? Because Certified Lover Boy was supposed to come out earlier this year. And that kind of pissed me off a little bit too, because I don't like to be starved by my favorite artist. I understand great work takes time, so I definitely don't fault him for taking his time with the project, but I just think that if you're saying that you're going to drop on a certain day or a certain month, you should do that. That's another thing about this new generation. They just get to do what they want. Like when Offset had an official release date for Father of Four and didn't drop for like a month or two, I just like, okay, this is a different era, because when did this become acceptable? But since then, I just feel like a lot of artists have been doing that. Like, they say they're going to drop, then they don't. But anywho, Drake was supposed to drop Certified Lover Boy, I believe, in April. Then it got pushed back, and then it just kept, like, becoming that, like, okay, it's up in the air. We don't know when this is coming out. Which, I don't know if he was just nervous about Kendrick Lamar or Kanye. You know, I don't know what all goes into that. I know it's you got to be strategic when you're releasing your album if you want it to do well. So, totally get that. But Donda drops. And after that whole fiasco, because, you know, he did the whole listening party, like 3 listening parties, and I was going to release this day, didn't release that day. And then it finally drops. And supposedly it was leaked, but whatever. It drops, and people are going crazy. It did really well. I believe it sold like 300,000 plus in the first week. And then we get the news that Certified Lover Boy will be releasing on September 3rd. So finally, we get an official release date. And I just am like, bro, if you fucking say that you're going to drop on this day and you push it back again, I'm going to be pissed. But I think he couldn't afford to do that. The anticipation is so high that people are getting annoyed, you know? So Certified Lover Boy drops. And I don't know if this was the case for anybody else, but when it drops, when I initially clicked on it, I could only see song, like the numbers weren't all there. It was like 3, 4, 6, 8, 10. And I could only see like a certain amount of songs. I don't know why that was, but that might have just been me. But anywho, I listened to the songs that appeared and I'm like, okay. You know, I'm digging it. I go into it trying not to be biased because, again, I'm a huge Drake fan, so I want to see him win. I want this album to be so amazing. I want his name to be solidified. I want Drake's career to be solidified because he deserves it. He deserves his flowers. And we all know, whether you like him or not, that he's talented. Whether he writes every single lyric or not, the man is talented. So I was listening to it, like I said, with an open mind, open heart. There were songs that I initially loved right away. The song with him and Jay-Z, loved it instantly. You got typical Drake. He's rapping, it's melodic. I heard Biggie and I was just like, okay, that's risky. But then you hear Jay-Z come on and like, okay, now it makes sense. It's okay now. It's okay. So, we all want that Pound Cake song. That feeling that Pound Cake gave us when we heard Nothing Was the Same, which I would say Nothing Was the Same is probably top 2 for me. If not one, top 2. Take Care, obviously, for most Drake fans is number 1. And we don't expect him to live up to Take Care, but sometimes we want to feel like that again. We want that feeling that we felt when you were riding and you were listening to Take Care for the first time. You want that feeling that you felt when you were listening to Nothing Was the Same and Pound Cake would come on. And it's just like, you love the energy between these two. And I just want to also say, side note, there were a lot of features on this album. You have your usual suspects, which is Jay-Z, Travis Scott. Who else did he have on there that's usually on there? Rick Ross, which I love. Lil Wayne. There were little samples of Nicki Minaj, but I don't think she actually had a verse. And then you got your 21 Savage, Lil Baby. Who else? Like I said, a lot of features. But, of course, Jay-Z holds his own. Jay-Z comes on, he sounds nothing like Drake, but somehow they still managed to make the song flow well. Drake's part was really good. Jay-Z's part, to me, is a little more memorable. But that's what you expect from Hov. You expect him to get on your track and wash you. But it was a good balance of the two. It was a great song. That was one of the ones I liked instantly. The song with him and Lil Baby, Girls Like Girls, I think is what it's called. I like it. Don't really remember too much about Lil Baby's verse other than he's gonna buy every girl that he fucks with a BBL. Drake's part, he says, you say you a lesbian, girl, me too. This dude, he's crazy. I don't know how to take that just because, the definition of a lesbian is a woman who likes a woman. So it's like, are you calling yourself a woman? I don't know. There's been a lot of speculation about Drake and not his sexuality, because I don't think that's ever really come into question. He's light-skinned, so, light-skinned tendencies. He get excused for a lot of his behaviors. Even more recently, people have just been like, Drake been a little spicy. He had this picture that he posted, I think, on Instagram or Twitter. I think it was Twitter. I don't know. People were saying it was questionable. Again, I just think it's light-skinned behavior, but whatever. It's just a weird bar. To each their own, though. If you like it, I don't know. I didn't really know what to think of this or the song, really. I don't think it's one that I find that memorable. It definitely ain't one of them Drake classics. So moving on, another song that I really liked was the one with Travis Scott. He had a good sample in there. Instantly, I like it. You know, like, that's what I expect from Drake's music. I expect to instantly like it. So that song, loved it. If you know me, you know I'm a huge Travis Scott fan. He's one of my favorite artists of like this time. But I just have to say this. I was not happy with his verse at all. I wasn't happy with his verse. And I really think he kind of ruined the song, if I'm being honest. And that's no shade. I love Travis Scott. I know every feature can't be it, but I'm just like, man, if there was going to be a time that you were going to have like a fucking bomb-ass feature, it should have been this one. It's a Drake album. But, you know, and that might just be my own opinion. Somebody else might have loved it. But for me, as a Travis Scott fan, I just have expectations. I first fell in love with Travis Scott on a Drake song. So on If You're Reading This, It's Too Late, he had the song Company. That was the first time I ever heard Travis Scott, and I instantly loved it. And I thought he washed Drake on that verse. So I guess I was just a little disappointed. But nonetheless, I still like the song. And I still would ride to that. Like, I just have to suffer through Travis Scott's part, but whatever. Then you have the TSU song. I'm a huge Houston rapper lover. I don't know if that's what you would call it. I love Houston rap. I love Texas rap. Well, no, I would say Houston because I really don't know any Texas rappers outside of Houston that I like, at least. So I really think Travis Scott should have been on that song. That just would have made a little more sense. But whatever. TSU, Drake shouting out all the Texas cities. You know, I don't know what it is with Texas, but Drake seems to have this very special relationship. And I think it's because all the girls there have fat asses. So that makes sense. Drake loves strippers. He loves strip clubs. He's always shouting out strippers. I'm pretty sure Texas has some of the best strip clubs and strippers. And everything's bigger in Texas. So I haven't been, although I love the music. But the song's cool. I like the song. The more I listen to it, the more I like it. Like I mentioned earlier, you want to get those feels that you felt with his previous work. So I think TSU definitely reminds you of, like, it doesn't sound like Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, but it puts you in that mindset because, you know, in that song he's just talking about strippers in Houston. And so yeah, TSU, it just kind of made me feel, I heard remnants of the old Drake, I guess you could say. And I can't really name too much else I like about it. The song's good, though. It's a good song. And again, I think Travis Scott should have been on that one. It just would have made more sense. But then you got songs like No Friends in the Industry. And that's personally one of my favorites, at least right now, because, you know, as a Drake fan, every day you find a new song that's your favorite. So No Friends in the Industry. I don't know if it's just because I can relate right now, but that song was fire, or is fire. He is rapping the whole song. There's no melody in this one. He's going the fuck off. It's bar after bar after bar after bar. And honestly, like, it's relatable. Even if you're not in the entertainment industry, I just feel like, you know, everybody has come to terms with the fact that you got friends that honestly aren't your friends. And they probably are your enemy. Honestly. They are the people that are closest to you. They know your moves. They, you know, they know how to get to you or get at you in a different way than a person that you don't know or care about. So I think this song, like, this is my car song. This is my shower song. This is my workout song, you know, whenever I decide to do that. And I think this is going to be a song that is on repeat for me. I definitely think that if you out here and you got friends that's your enemies, you gonna relate to this song. So I like that one a lot. And then just speaking of like songs that fit different moods, then you got Way Too Sexy. Way Too Sexy. I like it. I've been hearing a lot of people talk shit about it. He dropped the music video to it the day after the release, or the same day, however you want to look at that. And this is my shit, y'all. This is definitely going to be the song I get dressed to when I'm about to go out and I know I'm looking good. I'm turning this on because this song just kind of makes you feel like you just too sexy for certain shit. I mean, Future, he did what he had to do on the chorus, and he has a verse. Now, Jeffrey, Young Thug, I could have did without, but I'm not a fan of Young Thug, so I mean that kind of just makes sense. But his verse to me was just trash. He's had good verses that I've liked. This was not one of them. But the song to me is really good. It's a sample of Way Too Sexy or Too Sexy. Too sexy for you, too sexy for you. You know, I don't even know the words to that shit. But it's a sample of that. To me, I like when my artists take risks. I like when people try things that would more than likely fail, but if done right, they can be amazing, epic, if you will. Now, I don't know if I would call this song epic. I would say the music video is epic. It's hilarious. I think Drake knows that he's corny. Drake knows how to play on that. He knows how to make jokes and laugh at himself. He know he corny. He know he light skinned, and he plays on that, and I like that. So with this song, I just feel like people are taking it maybe a little bit too seriously. But to me, I just think it's a really feel-good song. It's, you know, supposed to hype you up. This is how you're supposed to feel. So I like the song. I like the video too. I personally liked the song before I heard the video, but I heard a lot of people saying that they like the song after they watched the music video. And it just kind of shows how important music videos are, because a music video can make you appreciate a song in a different way than you did when you initially heard it. So I hope he puts out more music videos. And I think that would make people appreciate some of the songs just a little bit more. But Way Too Sexy, y'all. That's my shit. I like that one. That one's on repeat for me too. So moving on. And I'm just naming the songs that I remember, because there are 20 songs. And this album just came out. I'm still digesting it. But another song that stands out to me was the 2 a.m. and whatever the fuck. You know Drake, he got to have a 2 a.m. somewhere. And this song, y'all, he is coming at Kanye's head, which I'm here for. I love when Drake howl. I love when people howl in general. If somebody got you fucked up, let them know they got you fucked up. And what better way than to put it in the music? I personally appreciate it. I'm pretty sure most fans do. And not only was he just spitting hella bars, he was spitting facts. And for my Kanye fans, I'm a Kanye fan too. Let's not get it misunderstood. I love Kanye and I appreciate everything that he's done for hip hop and music and pop culture in general. But everything Drake said in this song was true. He talks about jealousy. He talks about media and how like you're doing this for the media. And you know, for me, like, shoot, I thought we were better than that. I thought that we had, I don't know if these rappers consider themselves friends, but like, I just thought better of you, more of you, than to pander to the media and just like, you know, just talking about how real that is, which I like, because I do feel like people do things for the gram. People do things for social media. People do things for attention. And I think attention is like one of the biggest drugs right now. You see people who like will change themselves physically, financially. People will do things that they wouldn't normally do to impress people on the internet. That's insane. And it's just like, but there are people who know you in real life. There are people who know you when you're not looking your best, when you're not behaving your best, when you're not putting your best self forward. And I just feel like sometimes we need to be called out on that. I think Kanye, I mean, we've seen him literally shift gears completely from his past music to now. Kanye's just doing things I never thought he would do. And while I know that he does have a mental illness, he is bipolar, and I sympathize with that because I know people who are bipolar, I know people with mental illnesses, and I know how real that is, especially when it goes untreated. So I'm always kind of just on the fence when it comes to Kanye and some of his antics. But with this, I think Drake was well within his right to speak how he felt about certain situations. He talked about, he don't care who's designing your sneaks and your t-shirts and things like that. And just like, I don't know. I think holding Kanye accountable, which he needs to be held accountable. He needs somebody who's telling him like, bro, you're doing this for all the wrong reasons. You're not ruining your legacy because he is solidified, but just like the attention's not worth it. It's just not. So it's a great song. Honestly, even if it wasn't about Kanye, I would like this song just because, like I said, it's nothing but facts. And it's just Drake in his prime, or like how Drake rapped in his prime. I feel like you get that feel. There'll be songs that you'll listen to and you'll be like, this is giving me Nothing Was the Same energy. This is giving me, if you're reading this, It's Too Late energy. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that aspect of the album. I'm still digesting a lot of it. Towards the end, it gets really melodic. It gets really Drake, which I'm happy. I like when Drake is himself. I know he's expressed before that he prefers doing melodies. He prefers doing what he's good at. And I feel like that's what you should do. You shouldn't worry too much about what you think your fans want. You shouldn't worry too much about what you think people will like. It should always be about what you're good at, what feels most true to you. And I feel like that'll always just come across. Like you'll always get the best results if you're doing that. So I'm happy that Drake stuck to his formula. However, I must say that what I was disappointed about with this album is I didn't see any growth. Drake is older now. He's not 40. He's in his mid-30s. And I would have liked to just see a little bit more growth. I would have liked to see just a little bit more introspection outside of just like the industry and your beefs and having money and girls. Who is Drake outside of that? I don't know. And that's what I mean by substance. Jay-Z and Drake have way different material. Jay-Z, while he does, some would argue that he promotes violence and drugs and all types of things, he still talks about other stuff too. He talks about how he wanted to get away from that. How he did get away from that. He talks about not wanting to see people go through that and like owning your own business, your own masters, your, like your own life for real. Like working hard at whatever it is you do. That doesn't necessarily have to mean pushing drugs or rapping, but just like whatever it is you're doing, make sure that you're doing it for you. Make sure that you helping your people, like Black people in general. We're learning now. I would say there's definitely been a shift in Black culture with Black people. I'm talking to people who are investing in stocks and who are like concerned about their credit and not just stunting on the next Black person. I feel like that's a lot of what we saw in 444. And I would even say before that, I feel like Jay-Z has just been very adamant about like ownership, being an entrepreneur. And if you're gonna be the best worker, be the best worker. If you're gonna be a worker, be the best worker. But like just some type of ownership in your life. Don't just, go to work every day to make somebody else rich. You ain't gonna get rich that way. So I want to see Drake do that one time, and maybe that'll be the next album, because like I said, Drake's not in his 40s. I'm pretty sure this isn't his last album. And I think that, there's still time for him to grow. But then you have artists like Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole where they are conscious and conscious rappers. And they do rap about what's going on. Because the world is fucked up right now. Like, what's going on in the world, I feel like more rappers need to shed light on that because people listen to them. They have influence. Drake, we've seen it, even though, people call him corny, he had everybody saying YOLO. He had people saying they was on their worst behavior. He's definitely he's had people doing things that they wouldn't do. And I would say Jay-Z as well. And so with that influence, I would like to see you talk about things that matter a little more. I would have liked to at least, even if it's just one song. I think that just hearing your favorite artist talk about real shit, like for people who just aren't woke on their own, I guess, it would benefit us. It starts a conversation. Even if the song ain't popping, it starts a conversation. And that's important to me. I feel like as an artist, it's our responsibility to shed light on things that's happening around us and things that are important. So I wish Drake would have talked about that. I know it's Certified Lover Boy, so it's supposed to be about toxic masculinity and it's supposed to be fun. And I know Drake has expressed in the past that, like, people want him to be conscious, but that's not him. So again, definitely be true to yourself. But I'm just like, damn, like with everything going on in the world, none of that came up. Like none of that. Nothing. And people joke because they're like, oh, people wanted a 2 a.m. in Afghanistan, which is hilarious, by the way. But and no, not the concept of like what's going on in Afghanistan. Before you guys try to twist my words, I'm definitely talking about just the song title. I understand that. I understand people don't really want to hear Drake talk about certain things, but how do you know? How do you know that? How do you know? Like that could have been, honestly, I feel like that would have made the GOAT conversation maybe a little more interesting. In my opinion. I think Drake talking about something like that, first off, it would have just been so different from what he normally does that would have been a conversation in itself. But I also think that like it would have more meaning coming from Drake. Somebody who doesn't talk, like it would actually send a message like, hey bro, this is not okay. So much so that I had to go write a song about it. I don't know. That's just me. So I would have liked to see more growth. I would have liked to see maybe even more female rappers on this project. I know there are like female artists on there, but I would have liked to hear a verse from a real female MC. Maybe myself, but I don't know. I don't know. I did expect a little more. I'm not gonna lie. I was disappointed a little bit. I like a lot of the songs on there, like the ones I mentioned. I like all of those songs. They stuck out to me. There were a couple of songs that were a little like, I don't know, maybe they felt like a filler song. I definitely think some of the songs off of the Dark Lane demo tape or whatever, they could have made it onto the album. They were a little better than some of the songs on there, but I don't know what all goes into that process of picking songs and all that. So, I'm sure there were reasons for that, but overall, I would definitely say this is my least favorite Drake album. I will definitely say that when I'm ranking albums, like I said, Take Care and Nothing Was the Same, they kind of go back and forth in my top two. I have never even really thought about what my third favorite Drake song is. Or not song, album. That's tough. It's tough. Because I like to think of like, what did I listen to the most? What had the most replay value? That for me, that's the biggest thing with music. Will I be playing this shit a year from now? Will I be playing it 6 months from now? Because nowadays music is so disposable. It's just like, I liked it for a week and now I'm over it. You know what I mean? So, third favorite Drake album. It might be, if you're reading this, it's too late, honestly. But then it also might be Not So Far Gone, but Thank Me Later. It might be that. Needless to say, I've loved every Drake album, and I can honestly say with Certified Lover Boy, I do not love it. I don't love it. I like it. I haven't heard Donda, if I'm being honest, but from what I've been hearing, I don't want to listen to Donda. I don't know. I could just maybe be over Kanye and his antics and just like him in general, but Donda just did not appeal to me. The gimmicks, I'm not a person who appreciates or likes gimmicks. I think if you're a great artist, it'll just speak for itself. But I think when you have to, there has to be some type of gimmick every time you release something, it's probably not that good. That's just my personal opinion. I feel like Kanye's taken a page out of Kris Jenner's textbook. What is it? I don't even know the phrase, but yeah, I think everything just seems planned and strategic with Kanye West. And I just want the art to speak for itself. Like, I miss that. I miss when art just spoke for itself. That's what I love about Jay-Z. He don't have to do all the extras. The music speaks for itself. People want to listen to Jay-Z because Jay-Z makes good music. You know, I think Certified Lover Boy the numbers are already astronomical. Shoot, I heard that he broke another record. So I know that the album did way better than Donda, and the numbers haven't even come out yet. But what's the replay value gonna be? You know, I like these songs now, but am I gonna like them? And then who knows? Who knows? Because, you know, I've had albums that I've listened to where at first I'm like, this shit is trash. I'm not gonna lie. The first time I listened to Astro World, I was just like, oh no, I don't like this. And then I played it nonstop for months, for a year. I still listen to it. That shit came out in 2018. So, damn, that seems so long ago. But anywho, that's, you know, that's all. And I love Drake. I think this was a great body of work. Drake always puts out good bodies of work. He has talent. He has talent. And so the game has definitely been missing him. And I'm happy to have the album. I'm happy to have something new to listen to. But if I'm rating it, I have to give this a 6.5. Certified Lover Boy is a 6.5. Take Care, 10. Nothing Was the Same, 9.5, 10. If you're reading this too late, 8. Thank Me Later, honestly, 9.5. It was pretty great, honestly. Views, 7.5, 8. Scorpion. Y'all gotta excuse me, I'm from Ohio. Scorpion was very interesting to me. I liked a lot of songs right away. It had replay value. I can still listen to some of the songs off of there, but yeah, I'd have to say maybe with that an 8, 7.5, 8. Certified Lover Boy, 6.5. 7 maybe, you know, because some songs might grow on me, but I don't see myself rating it anything higher than a 7. So that was my TaeTake on Certified Lover Boy. You guys comment, let me know what you guys want to hear. Like, what other takes do you want? You know, should I talk about albums, movies? Like, give me some ideas. I want to hear from y'all. Let me know. But be sure to like, comment, subscribe, dislike if you ain't like it. You know, I like honesty. And until next time, guys, TaeTalk, I'm out.